So, the Baron finally decided to send another to reclaim his town, did he? Just a single hunter? I'm surprised. I was sure he'd given up after he sent 10 of you the last time. Did you not see their marks hanging from the gate when you arrived? I specifically placed them in case someone like you came sniffing along. Perhaps I'll add yours once I've ripped it from your neck. Oh, I see yours marks you as from the Court of Silver. That's interesting. I've met your kind before. Perhaps I'll continue this game. What's wrong, Hunter? Have your eyes not adjusted yet? Can they not find me in the shadows? You hunters are all the same. You come at me with your charms and concoctions and think that will be enough, but you all fall at the first hurdle. My guard protects me during the day, so you all think to wait till sundown when they return to their families and leave my resting place unguarded. But then you come slinking through the shadows like a mouse playing fox. With no signs of life or movement, you think that perhaps your quarry still slumbers, and so you slink deeper and deeper until you stand over my coffin. You raise your stake hammer in hand and you slam it through the ancient wood of my bed down where my dead, unbeating heart rests. And then you move, open the lid, trying to cut free my head or stuff my body with garlic and silver. But then you realize you were being hunted the entire time. I must say, Hunter, you put up a good fight, and I really appreciate the strong, silent type. Too many of your kind feel the need to preach at me as they die. Unfortunately for you, I didn't lie about being familiar with your sect. In life, I too was a hunter in the Silver Court just like you, except, of course, I was younger and more beautiful, so I know all your dirty tricks, and they are useless on me. You know, you are quite old for someone in your line of work. How many times have you been on the opposite side of this, I wonder, leering over one of us as you drive the stake deeper? Don't start preaching now that I have your back against the floor. Call me all the names you want, but it will not change the fact that with a flick of my wrist your neck will snap. Ah, a demon am I? Well, tell me then. When you arrived in my town, did you see the homeless? Or hunger? Did you see people cradling each other in the cold? Did you pass by the fields and orchards? See them flourishing? The traders and travelers openly coming and going? Did you stay in the tavern to hear them sing and laugh as they feast? Your silence speaks volumes, Hunter. You and the others. Your first real mistake wasn't trying to hunt me. It was trusting that snake of a baron. He was bleeding this place dry when I arrived, and he was the one who took advantage of these people. He got fat and rich off the blood and sweat of those he was meant to protect, and I decided to put an end to it. I am no real monster. I have made this place prosper in his absence. All I require is a small tithe of blood that is willingly given for protection and freedom from tyrants like him. I could crack your skull and have every right in doing so, but I will give you one last chance. Take your gold from your payment and flee this place. I will not hurt or hunt you so long as you never return to my land. Oh, don't be so righteous, Hunter. I'm not the monster you were told of. Allow me to show you this mercy. Well, if death is what you prefer, I will not deny your request, but neither will I waste your life. May you rest in peace, Hunter. Where'd you hear that name? Hunter? Darling, that's not you, is it? No, stay with me. I need you to answer me. You can't leave again. Not like this. Yes, thank you, Butler. They're recovering well. Thank you for your concern. You can just, set the food here on the table and tell the townsfolk I have no need to feed tonight. They can go home. In fact, you should actually do the same. I appreciate the concern, but they're of no danger to me. I think I can trust them. So, please, go get some rest. Oh, I see you're finally awake. You know, you should eat or drink something. The act of me feeding can be very taxing on people, but you should be fine in a day or two. Well, I suppose I need to address the elephant in the room before you'll do anything, but yes, it is me, in the flesh. Well, maybe not the living flesh, but I am the person who hunted down vampires with you over a decade ago, and I think that's the most important thing. No, I did not steal his face. How can you think that? Oh, you stubborn old fool. Use whatever dispel or tincture you want to test it, but this is very much my own. And no, I did not try to drain you. Oh, okay, fine. But I didn't know it was you. Oh, that's not an excuse, is it? Well, how about when you tried to stab me through the heart a few seconds beforehand? What was your excuse then, darling? Well, you must believe me at least somewhat, otherwise you would have already leapt over this table and tried to stick me with that fork. Can't you at least say anything? You know how much I hated when you used to just stare at me blankly. Still as beautiful as the day I left. Nearly 2 decades of you thinking I'm dead and your first reaction is to fluster me. I see you're still the same old flirt. Well, emphasis on the old part. I'm not complaining though. Age has only seemed to enhance your looks. Those gray streaks in your hair. It suits you. Can I sit beside you? Thank you. I suppose we should talk about, well, me being here. The obvious thing, I guess, is that I was turned, and for nearly 2 decades now, but I think you can see that. Yes, it happened that night in the capital when we went after that count. When he threw us both into the river, I had injured him badly, but his cabin was decimated. He needed someone to care for him, and he turned me. The initial thrall forced me to care for him for months, but with his resting place burned and a near-fatal wound, he just ended up wasting away. I was then left to wander. I was lost. I barely felt like myself. I moved from town to town at first. I even tried to starve myself, refuse the bloodlust, but it was impossible. And then one night, I had an accident with a traveler as I wandered, and I became afraid that I would do worse than hurt someone if I didn't feed. I chose the lesser of 2 evils, and decided I would feed when the need and chance arose. I can say with full confidence that I have never killed anyone who was not aiming to do the same to me. But, I will not deny to you, darling, that my appetite may have harmed others and even scarred them mentally, but I never crossed a line I did not have to. Oh, yes, the taking the barony happened a few years ago. I spent most of my years on the move, even taking contracts for certain individuals who wished discretion. It worked well. I got paid and we kept each other's secrets mutually. The Baron had one such job. He was searching for a servant who had gone missing, and I didn't think much of it at first, but when I finally brought the servants back, I found the reasons for his disappearance. He'd gather evidence of the Baron's abuse, of both his staff and his people, pages of statements and letters proving his sin. The guards then set about punishing the poor man, and when I argued with the Baron, they just turned on me. I dispatched 5 of them before the rest fled, and the Baron fled with them. But the man needed help. The manor was empty, and I stayed. He in turn convinced the people that I was a better alternative to the Baroness, watched over me as I rest during the day. He was here earlier, I don't know if you heard. He's my butler, his name is Arthur. In fact, I think you'd rather like him. He reminds me of you a great deal. I did think of looking for you, but I worried. We were vampire hunters. What would it have done to you if I appeared like that? And as time went on, it just slipped further and further away from me. At some point, it seemed better to let sleeping dogs lie, to let you think I was dead, and allow you to get over me. You didn't get over me? Please don't say things just to comfort my ego. You can't mean that. You shouldn't. To waste 2 decades of yearning for me. You always did know how to comfort me. Your hands, they're so warm. I can't recall how long it has been since I've been this close to someone. I forgot how tender a touch can be. Please, darling, can I embrace you? You truly have come back to me. Well, I won't say the years have treated you kindly, but your looks certainly haven't diminished. If anything, you've become all the more alluring to me. It's hard to believe that you never let anyone snatch you up. Oh, darling, do you remember when we passed our trials at the sect? We celebrated in a room much like this, and when everyone else went off to that tavern on Smith Street, it was just me and you left, facing each other like this. You placed your hand on my cheek as I do to yours now. You cupped your fingers beneath my jaw, ran your thumb along my cheekbone. You then said I had the most beautiful eyes you'd ever seen and kissed me for the first time. Tell me, darling, even now with my pupils turned dark, should I dare hope that you still think of them so? Your lips are so soft. Every day when I was forced to hide away in the dark, I spent hours thinking of that moment. And every other that I was blessed to have with you. I will not let you go again. No. Please lay down and embrace me. You must rest. No, no, I will not hear another word of it. There'll be plenty of time to talk on the morrow. Rest well, my darling, knowing that you have me once again.